Twin Ring Motegi, and I am doing some preparation for the hosted event that is this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm trying to do a full fuel run at the end of it here. The car is very, very tight. I'm looking to be pitting in about 5 laps, but I figured I'd get on track, show some people the lines, though with tires as worn as these, they're not going to be super accurate to what you want to run early in a run. But it give you an idea if you've never seen the track before, and I'm certainly not going to be the fastest guy out there. I don't have tons of experience on this track. But doing a full fuel run here, I got 9 laps until I'm out of gas, but I'm going to be pitting when that says about 5. Because the tires are extremely worn. I've already got both warnings from the spotter about the right front tire wearing out. But if I switch over to this, you can see I've done 58 laps, but I think 8 of those were a separate run, so I've done about 50 laps just to get some experience. And I keep overdriving turn 3 because the brakes are not working as good as they were earlier, and I'm overdriving to exit. Big key to this track: don't overdrive the exit of turn 2, and don't overdrive the entry to turn 1. Or turn 3. Turn 1 and 2 here, this corner lasts forever. You really have to be patient on it through the center because you're going to be in it for a long time before you can power off. If you get on it too early, you're going to push wide and risk putting it in the wall. And here in turn 3 and 4, it is way sharper than you realize. You really have to slow down early, get it to the white line. But it's got a little bit more banking, I think, so you can get on the gas just a little bit sooner than you probably expect and still get that rotation off into the corner. Now, on new tires, you really don't even need to use the brake in turn 1 and 2. You kind of just need to lift and then feather the throttle throughout the entire corner, and then wait until you know you can get the car to turn and then get it off onto the back straightaway. Very fast portion of the track. Then on new tires, am braking right at or just about before the 100 marker there, and here I'm almost at the 150, and I'm still overdriving it just because of how hot these brakes have gotten and how worn the tires are. I don't have any grip. But we're going to be making a green flag pit stop here in just a couple laps. And right there, that dark spot in the middle of the track, right on entry, is where I'm lifting for turn 1 and 2. Later in the run, I've started using brake to get it to the white line, but early in the run I was just lifting off and coasting for a bit before just slightly getting back on throttle. Once I pit, I'll do some laps on new tires to show everybody. Get down to the white line, really slow through the center here on these old tires. This track has a lot of tire wear, kind of unexpectedly so, which is why I go ahead and went with 2 extra sets of tires for my 90 lap race here. And plus, I think that's going to open up some different strategy options. If we get cautions,
you have about 5 laps of fuel left,
or anything like that, you're not locked into only being able to change one time with 1 tire set like I have done in the past. Alright, we're going to go around one more time, then we'll pit. There's just nothing left of this right front. Very tight race car here at the end. Setup is Daniel's set, though. It's pretty solid, I would say. Overall, you're always going to get tighter at the end of runs with the tires. But this is a very safe set. You should be able to get around here pretty easily as long as you're careful on corner exits. Early in the run, you're very, very slidey out of turn 2, and if you get on it a little bit too hard out of turn 3, or turn 4, you can do the exact same thing and get pretty loose and spin. But early on, you're going to be really wanting to take care of your tires. Get down here to pit road, hopefully get slowed down in time. That was really slow. But if we get a long green run, you're really going to be wanting to focus on taking care of your tires, keeping it out of the wall, just getting the car around the track. We got lots of space on track. Preferred line is the white line, basically. 3 and 4, you might see some guys running the middle line. I know some people were doing that in the ARCA race, but not something I ever did.
Right here.
In our box and take a look at tires. 5% on that right front. There you go. So you do about 60 or 54 to 60 laps on tires. You're gonna have about 5% left of that right front. That's pretty crazy. Can we look at it here? Yep. 71 left front, 55 left rear, 43 on the right rear. Pretty intense. You can see my laps. Fastest lap was a 37.5, which is probably going to be easily beaten once we get in practice. Ran those for about 10 laps, and I got into 38s and ran those for about 20 laps. Then we get into 39s, and then eventually up into the 40s. So you're going to see about 3 seconds of fall off total for an entire run. And we're having a 90-lap race. So you will probably want to pit for tires before you want to pit for fuel, I would imagine. If this goes green the whole way, and you're going to have 3 sets of tires total, the ones you start out on, and then the 2 extra in the pit. So you might want to think about cutting it in thirds. 30 laps, 30 laps, 30 laps. If this goes green the whole way. If not, I mean, you might want to pit at lap 45, cut it in half. I'm not sure. I'm not the best at figuring out what is a good strategy. But some people will be, and trying some different things, and I think the 2 tires is going to make it more perceptive for that. Different types of strategies and everything, depending on how cautions fall. I'll go out here on some new tires and show you the track. Just figured I'd record a little bit more additional info for people, because I know this track is not popular because nothing ever really runs here. Go all the way around. Blue cone is right here. Get on it. And as I've said, this corner is much sharper than it appears. I've been braking at the 100 marker. Car is much looser now. You get a lot of grip. Get it down to the white line. Just barely get on the throttle, and then you can power off. But don't get full throttle too early, or you're going to get sideways. Get a nice drive off the corner. And then past the 100 marker, right here at this black spot is when I've been lifting. Little touch of the brakes, probably not needed. I'm probably scared of it since I was on those tight old tires. Get on it very gingerly out of turn 2. You're going to get very loose with that long sweeping corner. Back on it. Turn 3. Get nice and slowed down. Use as little wheel as possible. Get the car around the track. Save tires as much as you can. And you got us a couple laps here. Back down into turn 1. Just a little lift. Maybe a bit more gas. You can really speed this thing around turn 1 and 2 if you're careful. Get a good run out of the corner. See if we can beat our session best lap here. Don't overdrive turn 3. Very, very easy to overdrive turn 3. Get it down, get on the gas as soon as you can, and oh yeah, we're going to beat it by a lot, almost a tenth. Alright, so there's my fastest lap, 37.4. I imagine we're going to see people in the 37.3s, 37.2s. People that are a lot faster than me. If we get guys like JP or anyone like that. Justin is always really fast. A lot of fast guys that showed up for the last ARCA race that I'm sure can come and beat me pretty easily. But yeah. So that's a little bit of that track prep. If you want to keep any of that in mind, we'll go back to when I was in the middle of this run. Don't usually practice this much for a race, but I wanted to test the setup. The setup that is available to download on the forums has 70% tape, but me and Daniel talked about it. We think might overheat later. So I went ahead and bumped it down to 60%. Probably makes the car tighter doing that, but I think just to be safe, that's fine. But there's that, and then here you can get the rest of the info. This Saturday, April 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Password's going to be G-Twin. We're, of course, here in the Xfinity cars. 90 full laps, going to be a fixed setup provided by Daniel, which I was just running. Download link is in the description if you want to get some practice in for that. There will be cautions, no fast repairs, up to 37 people will be in the race. Double file restarts, I haven't decided. Green, white checkers, I might do one. And as I said, 2 sets of tires besides the ones you start on. So keep all that in mind. Hopefully it'll be a fun race. This is an awesome track. Just got to make sure you're careful. Do the best you can. Don't worry about being fast or anything. Just get around the track cleanly without hitting the wall every time or spinning. Make sure you can control the car. But super fun car, super fun track, and it should make for a pretty good race. Hopefully you can make it, and hopefully it'll be fun.